Hey everyone, Hallie here. Today I wanted to talk about some things I would like to see added into Elden Ring Nightreign. Now these are things that, could be added in a free update, could be added as DLC. I'm not really sure how they would be implemented specifically, but these are just things that I would like to see introduced into Elden Ring Nightreign. If you guys do enjoy this video and would like to see another one, you could comment down below some ideas that you guys have. I would love to feature you guys in another video just talking about this. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. First of all, and this is probably the most obvious, but I would like to see more landscape changes. Currently, it is a little bit dull after a little bit. There is the shifting earth where you can have things like the craters show up, which is really neat, but I would like to see more things like that. I would like to see the outskirts of the map change. I would like to see different types of maps. Maybe, there's other locations other than just Limgrave that we can go to. I think that would be really cool, and I think it is a little bit of a missed opportunity that we don't have more locations. It's a little shocking, but then it's a $40 game, you really can't complain too much. But that is one thing I would love to see. And I'm not sure how these locations would be designed. Maybe a whole other location is designed around like different elements. So maybe we have like a frenzied location. That could be really cool. Maybe we have a frost location. Maybe we have a location that's like a blood, like a hell location, similar to what we have in Elden Ring. Maybe we have like a celestial location. There's so many possible things that they could do for new maps, and I'm interested if when we see new DLCs added, it will just be new maps. That's one thing that we'll have to see, but new maps and, just new shifting variations to the maps. And I think the statuses, like I love the idea of frenzied within Elden Ring. There's so much cool lore stuff that they could do. Another thing that I would like to see added into Elden Ring Nightreign is more characters. I think that, 8 characters that we currently have within Elden Ring Nightreign, the 6 base characters and then the 2 secret characters that you can get, are pretty good. But I do think in a few months, it might be a little bit stale playing these same 8 characters. So I think more characters would be really interesting. There's so many possible things that they could do. The people at From Software are just so creative, and one thing I'm really interested in like how they implement these DLCs is how long is it gonna take? How long is it gonna take for us to get something like a new character or a new map or something like that? Taking too long on content additions is something that made Space Marines 2 kind of fall off. And I love that game, and I love Elden Ring Nightreign. I don't want to see the same thing happen, so I'm very curious how long it will be until we see a new character. How long would you guys be willing to wait? I'm really not sure myself, because to be quite honest, I don't think any of the characters have gotten too stale for me yet, but I'm sure there will be a time when that does happen. Personally, I think a pirate character would be really cool. We do have one of the characters, I believe it's the Raider, has like pirate lore. But what if we had like an actual pirate with like a cannon? I feel like that would be really cool. Another character I would like to see is just like a skeleton. Give us like I don't know, give us a skeleton. What characters would you guys like to see? I know I keep asking you guys, but I think this would be just such a fun thing to talk about, and just share ideas on. I might make another video. Another thing I would be interested in seeing, I'm really not sure how they will do it, but more bosses, and specifically bosses from other games, because we already have a lot of bosses from like games like Dark Souls 1 with the Gaping Dragon. So what if we were to see, of course everyone wants this, Bloodborne bosses? I'm not sure how they would do it, given I feel like Bloodborne bosses would certainly be easier than Sekiro bosses. But I feel like there's a way that they could make it work, and I think it would just be so cool to fight like a Bloodborne boss or a Sekiro boss. There's so many cool characters that they have in their catalog. I think it really is a little bit of a missed opportunity that we don't really see any. So that is another thing I would love to see, and that they could also introduce things like guns. Like imagine if you could have a gun in your offhand and a sword in your other, similar to what you do in Bloodborne. That would be pretty cool. And maybe they introduce a Bloodborne boss and then like guns, and that would be pretty neat. Another thing that I think would be really nice to see within Nightreign is just like a boss rush mode. I feel like that would be really neat because we have so many bosses within Nightreign and they are so fun to play against. So a mode dedicated to just boss rushes would be really cool. And I know that is already kind of the gameplay loop of Nightreign, but it'd be really cool if there was just a concise mode where you just fight a boss right away and then you get some gear maybe from the boss. Maybe you start with, you know, some upgraded gear, you fight a boss, you get more gear, you fight another boss. I feel like that'd be really cool. And I know that is kind of counterproductive to the gameplay new loop of Nightreign. So I have another idea, maybe with this boss rush mode, it's like a seasonal thing. So, you know, there's a seasonal challenge, maybe, you know, like every week there's a different boss rush that you are able to complete, and it's like a predetermined set of bosses that you can fight with other players. I feel like that would be really cool, as then it's not completely replacing the gameplay loop of Elden Ring Nightreign, but I do think a boss rush mode would be really fun, and is just something that I would love to see. It would also be fun if there were more in-depth stats, or even stats within this boss rush mode, so it's like, how much damage did you do to the boss, who did the most damage, stuff like that would be really cool to see. Another thing that we currently have within Elden Ring Nightreign that I just would like to see expanded are the remembrance quests. I would like to see maybe more remembrance quests or more quests similar to them. I think it is such a fun idea, and I love how they are implemented. I love that they're certainly challenging, and the rewards that you get for them are quite underwhelming. However, I really think these quests are a great start, and I would like to see more of them, or just more quests in a similar style. I love the remembrance quests. Things like the Raiders quest, which unfortunately I don't have footage of, but you fight in an arena against various enemies, or things like the Samurai Characters quest, where you have to get flowers within the world. I think those things are so fun, and I would like to see more quests like that added. Again, this is something that I could do with the seasonal things that I did, or I was talking about. So maybe there's seasonal quests where, you know, you collect something and then you get some, you know, you get more currency, or like a currency boost. Something like that would be really cool. Or also community challenges, things like, a lot of games also have these, similar to like Rainbow Six Siege, where like if you get 50 million headshots, the whole community gets an award. I feel like something like that with Elden Ring Nightreign could be really cool, as the game is very much a cooperative game, so something on a larger scale of cooperativity would be really cool to see, in my opinion. One small little tweak, I guess, you know, as a quality of life, this doesn't have to be DLC, but it'd be really nice if we had an option at bonfires to refill our flasks, like manually. I know you automatically refill your flask when you run by it, but you know, sometimes you're at the site of grace and it doesn't refill your flask, and then sometimes you have to walk back and forth. It's really frustrating. It kind of messes with the flow of the game, so I think something where you could just automatically, or not automatically, because that's what we have, manually refill the flask, you know, just as an option, while still having the automatic flask refill, would just be really nice and a lot more convenient than having it limited to just the automatic flask refill. So that's going to be it for this video. Let me know what you all thought of it down in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, and a very special thank you to my YouTube members, Ash Tree Dweller. If you want to become a YouTube member, if you want to become a YouTube member, it's just $1 a month, and you get featured at the end of the video, so be sure to check that out. But let me know what you all thought of this video down in the comment section below. Did you agree with some of these ideas? Did you disagree with them? Let me know. What would you like to see added into the game? So, with all that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.